Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Yep. All right. So Anaya,
Yes,
how you doing?
ma'am.
What is the last name? What does your A stand for? Last name.
It's foreign, and because I'm not really good with my father's side, I just dropped it.
So it's just Anaya A.
A.
Okay. Now, Anaya, you contacted me on Instagram some time ago.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I really wish I had saw your messages, because had I would have known what I know right now, this information would have been out a lot sooner. Okay.
Correct.
And so you were expected to be Dr. Umar Johnson's second wife. Okay.
Well,
And so
first wife, and then I would have had a second wife, like, chosen or what have you. So he wanted me, like, to be number one, and then we had a second wife because he wanted two wives, if that makes sense at all.
And although you two haven't been intimate, because he does believe in being intimate after marriage, correct?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, so he believes in being intimate right away, and I don't. At all.
And
yeah.
Okay. So give me a second real quick. Jasmine, can you hand me my smart water real quick? Thank you so much. How did you meet Dr. Umar Johnson, the Pan-Africanist?
So dating back to 2012 or so, and first of all, everything you're sharing is correct so far for those that don't know.
Okay.
And I only came out publicly just because I couldn't hear him clapping back at you or Miss Michi at all as a sister, and having this information. I just couldn't do it. So this is no attack on him, but this is just my truth. And you could see it. I've sent a lot of receipts to you all. So dating back to like 2012 or so, I had a friend. I'm not going to say her name, but I sent you her picture as well.
Yes.
We're all over Instagram together and things like that. And I had never heard of polygamy or like having multiple wives. I'm Haitian American. We don't believe in that. We're Caribbean women. We don't believe in like having multiple wives or what have you. And she kept wanting me to meet him. And the way she posed it was that he is like this powerhouse. He's amazing. You know, he's intelligent. She knew my background in psychology and public relations. I had studied abroad in London, England. I had traveled, to many different countries by the time I was like 16, 17, because my parents were traveling all the time and they educated us that way. And then I was on the radio at the time in a small town, and that's where I met this young lady. And because I had just relocated from Atlanta, so I lived in Atlanta for years, Tasha, and that's where my activism started, where I became more like Black Power, like Dr. King, like, and she knew that about me. So she took the opportunity to tell me about Dr. Umar. And when she brought him up to me, it was more like education, empowerment, and things like that. And she knew that's what I liked. Some people feed off of our weaknesses, right? Or what we're attracted to. And fast forward, when I met him, automatically he was trying to eye me down, trying to be very, sexual or what have you, made a couple of sexual advances. I'm a, very nice young lady, but I was like, wait a minute, this is a powerful doctor, what's going on here? And then after we met, we had pictures that night. It was such a great vibe. And I'm not going to lie, he really impressed me with his knowledge, with his information, and especially talking about the young Black men and the boys and the ADHD and things like that. Because as a sister who cares, I was down with that. I already knew about that from Atlanta. I knew that more Black people needed to know about that in Florida, because Florida is very racist and a lot of kids fall through the cracks. So that right there was everything for me. Fast forward, this man, our first conversation was basically like, I'm going to F you. I don't know what I could say on your show. And
yeah, you can say
I'm going to fuck you. And you're going to be my fuck person in your town, because I travel a whole lot. And I was like, well, no, you're not, because I don't believe in that. I was like, you're good looking and everything. But I said, you had never met me before, and I will do the fucking around here. And on top of that, you're not going to just come around and do whatever you think you're going to do to me at all. Like, it doesn't go like that. And then he laughed and he was like, damn, like, you got a real one, because he didn't know I was from Brooklyn originally. So Brooklyn in the house. And so after that, we talked a few times, but it kind of dissolved because I wasn't going to give him any play. And then I found out that the sister that introduced me literally had slept with him and was trying to push me on him. And then she left the community we were in to join a polygamous community. And I think, because she never said his name at the time, she gave up her husband, she gave up her house, she gave up everything to move away to like the Philly area, if that says anything. And she gave up everything to be like a third, fourth, fifth wife or whatever it was. I was shook.
Okay.
She didn't say
So
the man's name. I know it was something.
after Dr. Umar Johnson, the Pan-Africanist, told you that you were going to be his fuck buddy when he came into town, and he wanted to fuck you. What happened after that when you said no?
I mean, he was like, damn, like, you're not going to just listen to me, basically? I'm like, no. I said, I have a degree in psychology, too. You're not going to come up here and play with my mind and my emotions and think I'm going to drop my drawers for you. So then we stayed friends. We became like cool after that. Like, he respected that because he respects women that don't submit. It's almost like a fear factor with him. And studying psychology, I realized I did the complete opposite of what so many women do. So like if you submit to him and if you bow down because he's a Leo, he has that like finesse about him, you know what I mean? Then he's gonna push and push. But if you're like, what the hell? Who do you think you're talking to? He's gonna be like, oh shoot, let me back up a little bit. And that's what happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what happened after you? Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I saw him for a few times after that. For years, we were back and forth. Seeing him at different events, but I would never give him like my address or nothing like that because I was like, this is no.
Okay. So how did we get to you becoming like his wife? So fast forward to that situation.
So 2021 rolls around and Haiti has been in trouble. So again, I had seen him for years. I hadn't seen that sister in years because she moved away to this polygamy camp or whatever, and we lost contact. And randomly she called me like to apologize. And I was like, whatever, that's another story. So it's 2021. Haiti is going through hell. My parents' country is like completely in disarray. And I have a team of people because I'm an activist. I'm actually, in several, communities fighting for not just Black Americans, but for Haitians and things like that, and immigrants. And I was contacted by somebody that was like, Anaya, hey, do you know Dr. Umar Johnson? Because you know everybody. I'm like, yeah. They're like, can we get Dr. Umar Johnson to speak on our behalf for the Haitian people? I was like, are you sure you want him to speak on our behalf? I know he's a Pan-Africanist. I know he does a lot for the people or what have you. But what's the correlation? Oh, because, he could maybe, take a stance against what's happening in Haiti and make it known. I was like, all right, bet. I call him up because he typically picks up for me anyway. I call him and I was like, yo, son, I got a request for you. May 18th is coming around the corner. Oh, it's so funny. Today's May 19th. Yesterday was Haitian Flag Day. I don't know if you know that, Tasha.
I didn't know, no. Okay.
Yes, the independence of Haiti, May 18th, 1804 is a big thing. So on every May 18th around the world, we celebrate Haitian Flag Day. So let's say it was like the beginning of May. I hit up Umar. I'm like, yo, my community wants to know if you have anything going on May 18th. If not, can you come to Brooklyn and do an event for us and stand up and stand against, the problems that's happening in Haiti? And mind you, I hadn't seen him in a while. And then the pandemic was also a big thing. But he was like, I'll let you know, send me a flyer of what's going to happen. I sent him the flyer. And do you know, Umar, he literally approved the flyer and put it on his Instagram page where he has like over 100,000 followers or whatever. And people start blowing me up. I didn't know he approved it. I didn't know he was coming. So that was like, our last conversation was like the beginning of May. And then I'm in South Florida on May 9th. I'm getting married. I don't let it be known to anybody, really. It was a very short, ceremony. It was like very close circuit and things like that. Plus, I still had mad love in my heart for him. I'm not going to hold you. So it was like weird because I'm like, dang, this guy's like possibly coming to this event. I got mad love still, but I'm married. So, you know how that goes. And so I didn't say nothing. So I got married or whatever in South Florida. People calling me up. He approved. So here comes May 18th, and he keeps his word. He comes through, everybody shook. Oh my God, and now you got Dr. Umar here, da-da-da-da-da. And Dr. Umar knew a lot about Haiti, and I didn't know that. And he was shook. He was like, you're Haitian? I'm like, yeah. So we didn't even know that. Like, he knew stuff, and I was Haitian. And then we just started vibing from there. Again, just picked up. But it was nothing sexual or nothing, because I'm like, yo, I'm married, but not only that, because I couldn't be with somebody that was traveling all over the world and had all these groupies, and it was just too much. And the women that came to the event even were like, all up in his face and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, whatever. So that was the 18th of May, and we proceeded to communicate. And your name came up, Tasha, because around the same time, I think is when this whole thing about him was coming out. And so I had to see for myself, what the hell was everybody talking about this school? Because I knew from day one he was collecting money. From 2012, he had been collecting money for the FDMG, this, that, and the third. And he also wanted to do something about Dessalines. Jean-Jacques Christophe, and Louverture were our big, powerful Haitian leaders that he wanted to be like a part of his school and stuff as freedom fighters. So I said, okay, TashaK talking about this. Everybody's talking about this school thing. I said, I got to come through, Umar. And he was like, you want to come through? I said, yeah. So I came out there with my homie who was going to do the artwork for him. We went there, Tasha, and it was abandoned buildings. And the way he said it was basically, he took over the buildings and he was going to make a school out of it or whatever. And this was the plan. I'm not going to hold you. I was kind of like, wow, there's no windows. It's kind of really worn down. It's like, really kind of out of control. But I'm a believer in big dreams and visions. So I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to knock him. So we had a whole thing in regards to the layout and everything that was going to happen with the paintwork and everything. He gave us a tour around the building. Again, no windows. I was kind of confused about that. But he said he got the monies from the donations and that he was going to make something happen really big. And then fast forward, he had a big plan to have a grand opening on 9/11. So how did I get in the mix of becoming the second wife, first wife, part of this polygamy thing? Was during that time I don't even remember the month. I sent you the video clip. That's when he was on the back, standing up on a backboard, and I was helping him clean up and stuff. We got on the topic of relationships because I knew he was never going to settle down. I knew of his past. I knew a lot of things. So I was
what
even
you know
trying
from
to
his
flex.
past? What was going on in his past, real quick?
Ooh, well, Umar had a plethora of women. Like I stated, I knew about that young sister who was older than me, actually. And then I knew about, remember back in the day, he had the video, Hoochie Mama, that he was sleeping with, and it came out all over the, I don't know if you remember that. In Atlanta, that's when I heard it off of Hot 106 or V106.
And he was sleeping with a Hoochie Mama.
She was on the videos and twerking and popping and all of that back in the day. She was called like the video vixen or something. Like, I don't even remember her name. I was so hurt by that because I was like, not because it affected me because I was sleeping with him, but it was like, how you a Pan-African is educator and you're doing all this for the quote unquote kids, but you're sleeping around with strippers. But she was a stripper. And she was like in all the videos before this whole like
not
lifestyle.
Not the black woman is God.
Or queen. That part, Tasha.
Go ahead, keep going. So, let's go back to you being the wife. So he asking you to marry him and stuff. So
yeah, so we got into that relationship thing. We in that school, in the gym part of the school. I'm helping clean up, but I was talking more or so to the women that he had me on live talking to because I didn't know I was on live at first. And I'm just walking around with the Windex helping him clean up and stuff because I'm like, women, we should be there for our men and just be strong and dedicated and, empowered because I'm married to an African brother myself and he has taught me a lot. I know you're married to an African brother and it's all about being like a family unit. And I like that actually, being like kind of subservient, but not like submissive, but just doing the role of husband and wife thing. And so that's where I was coming from that angle. But he got serious and he kept talking more about relationships and then about me being one of the two wives. And I'm like, Umar, you bugging. Like it was all on live and there were comments flooding. We got like almost 100,000 hits on that. And I'm like, oh my God, people started DMing me and everything. So that was, I don't remember exactly what month, but I sent you the video clip. And then 9/11 is going to roll around for the grand opening of the school. Now, he told me there's going to be a fashion show aspect. There was vendors, there was this, there was that. But I thought he was going to give people the tour of the school. By then, I'm thinking that he's going to have classrooms set up, students that are going to appear and say that they're doing great work with Dr. Umar. The parents were going to be like, yes, my child is enrolled in FDMG and they're learning. Ma'am, it didn't go down like that. Furthermore, right before the event, I go to Moshood. I'm going to shout out my boy Bendino Camilo. He's my Haitian Connect with Moshood, which is a big Nigerian brand in Brooklyn. He's like, Anaya, we would love to be a part of this or whatever. Dr. Umar could rock our clothing, this, that, and the third. I got like 10 to 15 pieces that I traveled with. They even blessed Umar with one of the main pieces and everything. I bought this actual dress that I wore during the fashion shoot because I thought that's what I was there for. He says this light-skinned young lady named Candace, she's in the pictures of the wedding, to hit me up and ask me my dress size and would I mind being in a wedding scene for the fashion show. And I'm like, yes, because I had no idea that that's what he was planning, was for us to be married on that day and for her to be a part of that ceremony. So I give her my dress size. I tell her what I like. I tell her all this stuff. And I'm like, yes, I just want to be cute in a fashion show. Like, that's what I thought it was. And God just so happened that right before 9/11 hit, for the event, the young woman, the woman that put us together to go to Delaware for the event, whatever, she's been knowing him for years. Actually, she's like mad older. She and I have a conversation. I said, you know what? Mama Ya, her name is Mama Ya. I said, Mama Ya, please talk to your boy Umar and explain to him what he's doing on social media is not nice. He has all these women he's flaunting around. He has panties thrown around. It was his birthday in August. He got panties and stuff, women walking around just doing nasty stuff. And you're supposed to be an educator. So when I spoke to her about that, she proceeded to tell him also that I was married, and he was shook. He was like, not Anaya A. And I was like, when I saw him, that was the first thing out of his mouth, because he thought I was going to get married to him that night on 9/11. And I was like, no, I never told you, because I, really was in love with you. I thought you were going to change. You never changed. You have all this nasty stuff you're doing still. It's never changed from 2012 to now. I was behind you in support. Everybody that talked bad about you, I had your back. But how can I marry you when you have not changed in 10 years? And that night, he proceeded to carry on with the foolishness with two of those sisters and get married at the school. Again, no school with the children. It's just these buildings and having fashion shows and events, which was beautiful. But what happened to the educational part of this whole thing?
So what did you see when you went to the school? Like, they ain't got no AC, bathrooms don't work, plumbing don't work, nothing. Where'd y'all use the bathroom at?
So we literally, he got the bathroom working right before 9/11, the event. They got it together right before then, which I was so proud of them. But that wasn't the whole school. That was just the gym, Tasha. That was just the gym.
So when he made his video and he did like this to me and he had the background, that was the gym?
I think so. Is that the part where there was a lot of like triangles in the background and stuff like that?
I ain't looked that detailed. I ain't looked that close.
I think that was the gym. It was the gym. Yeah, it wasn't like it's the gym and then his office. That's right there. Yeah. That's what he was showing you.
Now what your husband say about you down there, in Delaware from Brooklyn, Mr. Umar face, Pan-Africanist. What your husband had to say?
Well, he met him on 5/18, at the Haiti event last year, briefly. But it's so with me, I knew there would never be anything romantical happening. So it wasn't like, oh, let me disclose this information real quick because, I need to. Like, I'm not that type, like, because I never did anything with the man. I never will, So it was just more like a connection because in all honesty, like, Umar is so great, like, as a human, but a lot of the views are so skewed that if I went down that rabbit hole, my African husband probably would ship me off to Haiti somewhere to get a Haitian beating. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. So I just kept it real low key, like, oh, this is Dr. Umar, But, me being who I am and traveling and being on television and radio and doing the things that I do, he knows that I have a lot of friends and a lot of people I'm connected to. So he knew that what I went for was to promote Black, excellence, and that's what I thought we were doing. But and again, this is not to bash Umar, but when he came for you, Tasha, that's when I had to send you that information.
Thank you.
Because I couldn't do it. You're welcome. I couldn't do it because I'm like, Umar, like, I know you personally. Like, everybody else could front like they know you. This has been like 10 years now. And I've checked him several times. And he might come back on this like tip and he might say something about me. say whatever you want, bro, but you can't come after my sisters like that. Like, I don't know this Michi, but I'm a big fan of yours, Tasha. And it's not like, oh, I'm like, you know, like starstruck or anything, but it's the fact that you represent something. I get emotional about this, but as a sister, a brown skinned sister, I sent you a flyer earlier, you represent greatness. You understand? A lot of people might be like, oh, Tasha, you know, she be drinking, she be cussing, she be acting wild. But that's how you made your brand. Right. That, if I was pregnant, I'd have my glass right now, you know? But this is true.
Oh my God. Hold on for a second. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, you represent something that a lot of females can't do. You're making money, living your truth, and having fun. You know what I mean? And you are doing it without taking off your clothes. You're doing it without begging. And you ain't begging. You haven't asked for a cash app since I've met you in 3 or 4 years. I met you on YouTube 3 years ago, Tasha.
Umar got to do better. He got to do better. Umar had all my uncles in prison listening to him and stuff. Now they don't believe shit he say because he still ain't got that school up. And I know he mad at me, but I was like, you have got to do better. Like, I know you don't want the government involved, but there are grants that you can get from Black-owned organizations that would have helped you with this school. But because he lies so much, don't nobody want to help him. And he literally asked people, I got to find that video and put it in here, when he had somebody on live. And they gave him $5. And he got mad that they gave him $5 and literally clicked them off. But he was sitting in the middle of the projects.
And here's the thing, Tasha, if you go, I just sent you an hour ago before our interview, there was a fight outside of the Harlem church. I don't know if you caught wind of that.
Yeah, you did tell me something about that. You was there for that fight, wasn't he? He got his ass whooped.
Well, almost. I stopped the fight. I'm like 5 feet, 5'4". In between, I've been lying so long about my height. I don't know how tall I am, but I'm like maybe 5'4". Umar is 6'4". This other brother. Now, here's the crazy part. Again, we were talking about you and all the other bloggers that wanted to interview him and get the truth. And I was like, Umar, why you don't just go on and tell the truth? You have a location and you're building something. Nah, I don't have to do that. You know, Queen, I ain't got to do that. You know me. You know, you already came out there. You seen what I was doing. I was like, yeah, but if everybody is talking, wouldn't it look better if you just get on there, especially on TashaK? Like, I literally had just said that again to him. And here comes this ginormous light-skinned brother who was like, yeah, Dr. Umar, can I talk to you? And he's like, yo, you don't see me. I'm talking to my girl real quick. Like, we vibing, this, that, and a third. And he was like, yeah, but I need to know something. Like, what's going on with these donations? Like, we don't understand. Like, we've been sending money and we haven't seen nothing. He's like, well, come on 9/11 and you're going to see something. Because that Harlem event, I don't recall the date exactly, but I sent you the screenshot too of him putting me on Instagram as well. So it's in the screenshots. I'm just terrible with dates. Okay. And we were, okay. And he literally was like,
okay, I saw everything.
Thank you. You saw it. Yeah, so he was basically like, yeah, I don't have to prove nothing, this, that, and the third, brother. The brother got so hyped because he's like, you can't keep playing games. So they started throwing names out there, like of other Black Pan-Africanists. I think I heard a Lord Jamal or Jamar. I heard another Q something. I'm not familiar with all of them because I know Umar and I've heard of a few others. But because I know Umar, I kind of stay away from all these activists like Pan-African people because I realize there's something really wrong with this community, with the multiple wives and the kind of psychoanalysis.
I mean, you ain't married your husband ain't Muslim, is he?
Ain't no time for that. No, okay. Never that. On God, never.
I'm married to a Muslim.
Even going to Africa. Well, his father has multiple wives, right, Tasha?
He sure does. But yes, he does. I love all three.
And you said he's not going to have those multiple wives.
Well, he said he don't want them. I mean, if he want a couple in there to help clean and cook, that would ease a lot of stress off of me.
I'm done, Tasha. I'm
done. Real talk.
I can't do it. I told my husband from day one, we ain't doing that.
I can travel more, A lot of time to make more money. They can, I said, listen, she cook, clean, pick up the kids. It's a lot of stress. You sister wives, but go ahead.
Oh my, but yeah. Oh, that makes me laugh. I just
when you get my age, girl, you'll be like, you know what? We could use some help in here. Yeah.
It's like whatever at that point. Well, for me, I just can't. I'm not jealous per se, but I'm just like, how? No, I can't. But
we ain't going nowhere, child.
Well, you know what? Sometimes these little, females that could do certain things different or, cast spells or something. I think about the worst. I be watching the
Cast
African
spells,
movies.
child. Oh no.
Yes, I watch the Nigerian movies, honey. They be doing some wicked stuff. I'm
Oh
like,
no, you
honey.
cannot believe in the fireballs on the screen. You can't do that now. Come on now.
Yes.
I love Nollywood. I love them, but damn.
I love them, but their movies, I've been watching them,
Okay.
Tasha. That's what scares me. But so I couldn't get down with all those other people. So every time they started throwing these names around, and the brother kept saying, well, such and such out in Brooklyn got an organization, and he really doing it for the kids. He kept saying that, and I'm like, who is he referring to? But anyway, it was just talk. Where are my donations going? Umar starts to get hype. Now I'm like, oh shoot. Now all the men that are standing around and watching, they're about to start taking out their camera phones. And I'm like this, no. And they see my look like, don't do it, guys, because like that's gonna ruin this man's reputation. I don't know what's going down, but I'm from Brooklyn, so I got hands. I'm ready at any moment. But like, I need y'all brothers to stand by because I really was like, oh my God, they about to fight. So, men, they start puffing up. Umar start getting loud. Tasha, it was a wrap. This brother got up in his face, and I'm like, yo, son. I'm like, yo, back up. So now I'm pushing both men out of each other's faces.
You weren't pregnant at the time, was you?
No, ma'am. This was last year. Oh, no. Okay. I would not have put my child in jeopardy.
Because you're like 7 months pregnant right now. Okay, I was just like,
right now,
no.
Yes. Oh,
too much stress.
This was last year. Too much stress. I was just pushing them back, and I was like, nah, because like my thing was, again, protecting the brand. As an educator, and you're cursing and you're carrying on, the man is just asking legit questions. Just like you bloggers and vloggers, like you, Tasha, you wanted to interview him. He didn't want to because he didn't have anything to prove. This brother is trying to ask you legitimate questions. I'm not going to hold you. He didn't say nothing wrong. He's just like, when is this thing going to be done? We've been sending donations for mad long. This brother down here has an entity. And it seemed like every time the brother says something that was of adequate, resources or information, it seemed like Umar got like offended that he was throwing this stuff in his face. But you can't do that if somebody really telling you the truth. So when he kept telling him the truth, he got mad. And then that's when they almost started fighting. And that's when the brothers, helped push them aside. And then we got Umar into the church. But there was a video, this brother named Sean in HDTV, literally, he didn't take any footage because I started screaming, telling everybody, do not pick up their cameras, don't get none of this on live. Because I didn't want to be in jeopardy at the same time, Tasha. That gets dangerous for me. Having a camera with me, trying to separate these two brothers, they probably would have thought I was with Umar and they would have came after me. Oh, we're not doing that. I had to protect myself too.
I feel.
But Sean and HD brought it back out right after the big scandal with Delaware trying to stop Umar. Well, they are stopping him from collecting any more donations. And he literally just put out a video clip again. And he referred to me in that video. Like the sisters were out there holding it down, stopping the fight. There's another sister that was there. She got pushed and she lost her footing and got pushed into the church. And then they closed the doors, and then the brothers were able to hold Umar down because he's a big dude. He's a really big dude. But yeah, they referred to me in the video clip and everything.
Let me ask you something. I need to ask the donors if they ever got a tax write-off for giving to the school. Did he ever give them they little white slips that the Goodwill give you when you drop off some clothes?
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think I've ever seen none of that.
Oh, that's called tax evasion.
I'm not gonna hold you, and I feel bad. I didn't even,
that's good. They gonna come.
But that's
IRS gonna come. IRS gonna come take that damn school back. They're gonna be like, give it back. Let me tell you something.
Because they have all the documentations. Because I'm telling you, if that one particular situation happened, and if other people are asking, Tasha, don't you think somebody has reached out to the government already? Hasn't people like literally given money? Like, wait a minute, where's my money going to? Like, because people are not just giving away free money; they want to see something, and that's why too. I try.
He should have invited the donors down there. All them donations he got over the last 18 years, he should have invited them down there. They should have been the first to sit in the gym with no windows. Okay, listen. What was I gonna ask you? It was a really good question too, but we just got going there. I mean, you ain't never let him smell it. You ain't never kiss him or nothing like that.
I couldn't. You know why? It was a sense where, when you feel like somebody's not gonna be honest with you from day one. Why would I put myself in that predicament?
Okay.
Why would I put myself in that predicament? Not even a pop kiss. The only time we're gonna pop kiss, he was like, the only time I'm gonna ever kiss you is when I make love to you. What? What are you talking about, sir? I'm just like a kiss on the cheek or something. And he was like, nah, I have to make love to you to kiss you. Like, bro, you be going too extra, and I can't trust that you're gonna really that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have this vibe that you're gonna be faithful at all. So that's what always did it for me. I can't be with somebody. I'm a Libra Scorpio. I'm on the cusp, and I have the good vibe from the Leo. Libra. I'm a Libra, and sometimes I'm real positive and happy go lucky. But that Scorpio comes out, and that's
Umar,
reckless.
but don't want none of that.
Don't want none of that.
He don't
and I will find you. And I will find you.
So
and
what happened to the other two wives that was there that he married that day?
He didn't love near one of them. He really thought I was there for the shenanigans. And I still keep in contact with Candace to this day. Matter of fact, I wanted her to send me more text receipts in case y'all needed them, because our communications were via text and everything until we met. She's the sweetest young lady. But it's like, he had her fool too, I think. I think she really fell in love with him. And
did he consummate both of the women on the same day, night, after the wedding?
I was on the bus back to New York City, my love. I don't know, because I was not going to be a part of that mess. I said,
I hope he
are you freaking kidding me? I was like, are you kidding me? But here's why, here's why I had to bring this up to you, Tasha, and for anybody else that is watching and listening. We have a big problem. We have a big problem that needs to be addressed with these brothers who are constantly, because, you covered the story about Prophet somebody, and then recently Carbon something. Like, I don't keep up, but like Carbonation, and then the one before that went to jail for like molesting little kids or something. He's a dark-skinned brother, pretty big in Miami or
Brother
something.
Polite.
All of these brothers. So here's what I wanted to actually share, and I'm glad I just remembered this part. We as women have to stop being so susceptible as well as naive when it comes to these high-positioned men who are literally taking over our minds with their verbiage, with their, queen goddess talk and all this other stuff. They do that to get us in a particular position so that they can manipulate us. And I'm here to share that. All of that. They manipulate, they have sex with a lot of these women. A lot of women do say certain things, but then they're muted. Right, Tasha? When women try to come out and say something, they make it seem like the women are crazy, and they make it seem like, there's no validity to their stories. But what's happening is, because we have such a lack of good Black men that are roaming the earth right now, because a lot of them are locked up or in very, bad positions, etc. The ones that have a little education and power and, are able to control the masses, like the Umars of the world, they're using us and they're abusing us. Thankfully, I had enough power to walk away and like self-control to say, I'm not giving you any of this cookie, because he calls it cookies. I don't know if you know, he be calling it cookies and all that stuff when he goes on his tirades. He sure does. And I had enough strength. But there's a lot of females that have fallen into these traps, and women, we have to do better. So this is actually the reason I'm coming out publicly is because I wanted to share, not only did I respect you, Tasha, and I respect what you're doing, and he should not be attacking you in that way, but also for the women that are sitting here in these situations, like the 10 women that were part of Carbon Nation or what have you. You have these men abusing you mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, financially, because one of the things that happens in these situations is the women are giving of themselves financially as well, because they quote unquote believe so much in the dream and the vision. And what are you getting in return, women?
A hard dick.
If it can stay up that long, praise the Lord. I'm having a glass of water.
Naya, like, we gotta be friends, child. We sure do. Listen,
Tasha, you've been my best friend.
What's the sparkle stuff you got on? What's the sparkle stuff you got on?
From the beauty shop down the road.
Okay.
If you want some, I can send you some.
Yes.
Because it'll be sexy on you. Let me know where to send it to. I picked it up at an African beauty salon, beauty shop, or what have you, down the street. It stays on. I put it on my clothing. I'm a sparkle freak. I have sparkles in my lipstick, on my eyes, all of that. But this is beautiful. Thank you. Do you like it, Tasha? This
I
is
like that necklace too you got on. That's nice. That's real nice.
oh, thank you, African.
You're
Look,
welcome.
and then my husband bought this for L for love. I have one for A for Anaya,
Okay.
but this one
Where
was
your
for
husband
L.
from? What country he from?
Burkina Faso.
Oh, he speak French.
Yes, you know about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell him je m'appelle Tasha.
Je m'appelle Tasha. Lui maintenant, lui a dormi. Mais à
Oui.
demain, je vais parler
Hein?
avec lui. Et
Oui.
je dis comme ça, tu dis oui,
Oui.
allô, bonsoir. Tu appelles TashaK, ça va très bien. Et c'est une bonne personne.
Oui.
J'explique.
Look at you. Look at you. How long it take you to learn French? Because I still don't know.
Oh, no. So, wait, where's your husband from again? What country?
He from Mali.
He speaks French too.
Yeah, no, I can't speak French.
Oh, okay, no problem. Well, I'll help you. So I started speaking French. That was my first language, Tasha. You're gonna fall out. My parents are from Haiti. My mother was an educator
that's
in
right.
Haiti.
I forgot you Haitian.
I'm Haitian, so I speak Creole too. But in my Brooklyn home, my mother was like, she had to teach me French first so that I would never forget it. Because if you teach a child very young, they'll never forget. And then I learned Creole like simultaneously because it's two different languages. And then I learned a little Spanish. And by the time I got to kindergarten, I'm speaking all these languages. And they're like, where's this girl from? Because she doesn't speak English. And I was born in Brooklyn. But my mom, being, an educator, knew that I could learn English easy in school. But I had to know the other languages at home so I could be multilingual. And
so you took the ESL classes. You had to take some ESL classes.
I didn't have to take none of that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to take any of that. I just picked up and then I graduated college, high school early and everything because of my abilities to go through like mentally when you're speaking multiple languages at a time. Some people it's hard to learn English, but for me, my mother was an educator, so it was easy for her to teach me whatever I couldn't grasp quickly. And then I ended up skipping 2 grades anyway, so I never did ESL or nothing. It was just natural for me to grasp it. And then I graduated early from my 16 years old. I was in college and traveling the world and things like that. So, and it helped me because I ended up in London, but I have family in Switzerland. And let's just say because of my connections, my professors were very nice.
Okay. All right. Well, Anaya, I really do appreciate you coming on here to really give us the lowdown, on Mr. Umar Johnson, since he wanted to go down on you and you said no. I really appreciate your time. Yes, I really appreciate your time. What you having, by the way, since you're 7 months pregnant? What you having, boy or girl?
A boy.
Oh, what you gonna name him?
Oh, Tasha, his name is so long. King. I decided on King, but my African husband has Nere Victor. My Haitian mother has Ayim, and so he's gonna have 5 names.
Okay, well, that's all that matters. All right, well, listen.
I'm carrying this boy, and he's beating the crap out of me, Tasha.
Oh yeah, they kick your bladder and shit. They make it all loose and everything. So
everything.
Yeah, you'll be all right. First baby.
And I have one of those stories. I wasn't supposed to have any children, but God is so faithful. And I'm actually working on a documentary about us as Black.
You had an African shoot up in you. They different, They don't miss.
They don't miss nothing, huh? Tasha, yes.
That shit is organic. You know what I'm saying? It ain't non-GMO
and it's
like
true.
We are. Yeah.
Tasha, he doesn't eat nothing like sweet and processed or anything. It's literally vegetables on top of vegetables.
Yeah.
It's literally like organic and healthy food. And we're sitting here suffering in this country. And I think that's why we keep having these problems, because we don't eat the fruit of the land and they eat nothing but vegetables. And even in Haiti, Haitian people won't take the GMO, food products that America tries to send, because even Haitians eat like that as well. It's us in America, we're subjected to that.
I'm going through shit right now.
I'm working on a documentary. We're working on a documentary, Tasha, Black women and health disparities. We're going to definitely tackle these issues. I'll let you know more about that. And I'm so appreciative. And let me know where I can send you some of this glitter, because I think you'll love it.
I'll be in New York in 2 weeks. I'll be in Brooklyn in 2 weeks.
Oh my God,
I just left today. Yeah, I just left Brooklyn today.
So while we were talking and you were in Brooklyn. Oh, Tasha, you make me laugh, honey. Well, I can meet up with you and I can bless your
Thank
whole
you.
life.
We'll do lunch
I
at
even have
Cafe de Rue. We'll do lunch at Cafe de Rue. I love that place.
Let's do it, boo-boo. Let's do it at
Okay,
Daru.
with that being said, now I gotta go. Bye.
Thank
And
you.
Anaya, we're gonna put your Instagram at the bottom so they're gonna already know how to follow you and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. I
All
appreciate you.
right.
Oh,
I'll
can I
talk to
just
you.
shout out to? Sorry,
Yeah.
Larry Reed. Larry
Shout out
Reed.
to
I want
Larry
to
Reed.
shout
That's
out.
my dog. Yeah, go ahead.
That's your dog. I don't know if he's the one that reached out to you to help you to get this thing together. What have you? I hit him up. Like Larry, I gotta talk to my sister, and I hit up Wiley too. I had messaged both of them. Like I
Shout
gotta
out to
hit
Wiley
them up
now.
to Wiley and to Larry Reed because they've been liking my little stuff on Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You look beautiful. I wish you a very, very smooth and easy birth, okay? And hopefully your baby does come out extremely healthy. I'll be praying for that. And congratulations on your new marriage. And I'm so glad that you dodged Dr. Umar Johnson's bullet. I don't even think he could shoot, but yes.
Ooh.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Anaya. Bye.